Hello and welcome back to TED Talks Truth and Reality about why is dishonesty and distrust big government's new trickle-down policy. This wasn't my original topic to speak about during this session. Wednesday I was going to speak about the 200-year anniversary of the Star-Spangled Banner when Francis Scott Key put into words the essence of American spirit and dreams. And all four of his verses, and most of us don't even realize there were four verses, ended with, "O'er the land of the free and the home of the brave." That may have been so during the Revolutionary War, and it may have been during that War of 1812, and it might have been in all previous wars, but since the Korean War, we have not fought a battle to win. We've fought a battle to appease big government and the desires and goals of the politicians running the world and the lives of the people of America. However, that was my wife's birthday and I got sidetracked, and I tried 10 different versions of trying to get that said about the Star-Spangled Banner, but didn't. So on Thursday I was going to discuss the fact that the previous day was Constitutional Day. It was the day that we, the people, were granted through a document the security and the fact that we were a united people, and that our goal was to provide life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for all our citizens. However, during that session, my wife came in and sadly told me that my brother-in-law, her brother, had passed away, and naturally I stopped. And I reflected all the rest of the day and most of the night and this morning on what should I concentrate in and on this particular day. And I woke up this morning thinking that the sad state of affairs our country is in is because our politicians in Washington propagate and permeate dishonesty and distrust. And as big government has swelled and ballooned to the point it is now, this dishonesty and distrust travels through the halls and offices and the minds of and the hearts of those who are supposed to be leading America and securing our inalienable right for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Consequently, and sadly, that is not the case. What has happened is that big government has morphed to the point where selfism has taken over the minds and hearts of our leaders. A good leader should only be one thing, and that is honest, and more honest than anyone else in the country. The people depend on the leader to be open, transparent, and honest. However, over the last 6 years, we've seen nothing but lies, deceptions, distractions, diversions, not the truth. And without the truth, the people fall into their segmented, fractioned, divided self-interest groups. Our president and this current government is dividing Americans into tiny me-first pockets of self-interest that the like-minded group or gathering of individuals try to propagate their collective view and try to push it down the throats of those who wish to be free and open and honest. Therefore, today I thought that I might recap a little bit of what I've talked about and talk a little bit about the future in what I hope to talk about later on. I've tried to get you to comprehend and understand that selfism, which is the utmost selfish, self-centric point of view of reality, is the root cause of all the problems in America. It's the problems in your life, it's the problems in your community, it's the problems in your church, it's the problems in your government, it's the problems in your job. In the course of birth to death, you were born alone, and now with this recent tragedy, I realize even more so, you die alone. And in the course of that life, though, you do make many, many good and bad decisions. My brother-in-law Pete was a good man. He was a good father. He was a good provider. He was pretty honest. He was an ex-Marine. He fought in Vietnam. He had complications from Agent Orange, and it may have contributed to his final demise. But the mark of any individual is realized by the wake or the track they leave in their lives. And honestly, every single minor decision that you make in your life causes a ripple effect, affecting those nearest you and sometimes those unseen. Our president doesn't understand that his choice or his lack of choice affects us in far-reaching and future incidents and outcomes. As an athlete that grew up competing, the objective of any battle is to win easily and with as least amount of injuries and bad results as you possibly could. Right now, the most important issue facing all Americans is the safety of our people home and abroad. The ISIL, the ISIS, or whatever you want to call the screwballs that are trying to kill all infidels, is our most important objective or concern at this point in time. As a leader, you evaluate the playing field and you come up with a game plan and you execute that game plan, and you must execute it with all your heart and all your mind and all your soul. Our president has none. Every single day we watch TV and the internet and the newspapers, and they all, even the liberal news media, and even Jimmy Carter says we need to go to war and defeat these terrorists. The only way you could win is to obliterate and annihilate and destroy them wherever they are, and at whatever means and whatever costs it may take financially. We have paid a tremendous price with our soldiers' lives and bodies to this point. However, we do have the means to blow them off this earth if we had a mind and a heart to, and if we had a leader who led us in that direction. I feel bad that so many people are torn between their loyalty to an ideology that many on the president's side espouse to and live by and are blinded by or unconscious to the fact that it is destroying the American dream and the American way of life and the land of the free and the home of the brave. I beg and beseech the president to make the right decisions, not make the wrong decisions, and not make any decisions. Currently our borders are so porous that I heard yesterday that maybe 30 to 40 terrorists or terrorist-leaning people have infiltrated every single day, and that there may be thousands of Hezbollah and ISIS and Al-Qaeda sympathizers here in America, ready to do harm to all of us. I again hope that you begin a search inside yourself to rid the selfism that is in you, because it's in me, it's in everyone. I tried to explain that it is a lingering remnant of those days when we were all part of the physical herd mind, and survival of the fittest and self-preservation was the foremost self-concern and was achieved at all costs. And that selfism has morphed into society and remained inside each of us as a inherent, innate trait from the physical days. I am trying to add a little spiritual truth to your heart and to your mind, and allow you to listen to that inner guide that is not going to lead you down the wrong path. It is going to lead you down the right path, and that path will be well lit by truth and honesty, open-mindedness and transparency, all the things that are lacking in our government and in our leaders today. Therefore, I will end today by saying that in the future I intend to divert from my original goal of trying to promote my books, and over the next few weeks I'm going to try and talk about and give my overview and conclusions and determinations that are in the book. And I am going to talk about some very important, sensitive topics. I'm going to talk about race relations. I'm going to talk about the gay community's fight with the closed-minded religious right community. I'm going to talk about the war on women. And the conservatives aren't fighting a war on women, because every man knows he'll lose that battle. So that is another false deception that I'm talking about when I mentioned that our government is misleading and deceiving all those that are closed-minded, weak-minded, uninformed, clueless, and most of all, lost souls. So therefore, until we meet again, I sure hope and pray that better times are ahead for all of us, and especially for our president, who needs the guidance of that inner voice at the most important time in our history. So until we do meet again, Godspeed.